Hello, this is Crypto CJ. Welcome to today's trade of the day. It's the Monday night Zoom edition, and Bitcoin has been dropping most of the day, as has Ethereum, as has almost the entire market. So let's look at Bitcoin and try to figure out where to go from here. All right, you guys should be seeing my Bitcoin 2-hour chart. Please say yes if you can.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, thank you. And so I drew this white line down here to show the bottom of the trading range. And this yellow line here is one of my Fibonacci retracement lines, but it seems to be mostly the resistance at the moment. So this month after the December 3rd dump, the low seems to be right around 46, 46.5, 46.4, right about where we are now. Then the high is a little over 50, not quite 51. We did punch through it on the 6th. It was support briefly and then dropped down again. It's been resistance ever since. So we're talking earlier about, what could be the cause of this. Fed announcements could be, stock market reacting to that. Unfortunately, the stock market and Bitcoin are still fairly intertwined due to the risk involved of both. People tend to run to cash when they fear risk. So, and there was one thing in the news too, I thought could be relevant. Go to my news tab here. It was early this morning. This one here, Ripple and XRP prone to more wins as SEC reportedly argues it never declared Bitcoin and Ether compliant cryptos. So people can interpret this. Most of you guys know about the Ripple and XRP lawsuit. The SEC is trying to state that these cryptos are actually securities. And there's been a lot of comparisons in the lawsuit to Bitcoin and Ethereum. And now they're saying, well, maybe they could be targets too, would be one interpretation based on this news. So, and I did notice that right when this came out at 5:23 Mountain Time, is when Bitcoin really dropped. Go to the 5-minute chart. Yeah, it's right about here because it was trending up, and then this news came out. It's been crashing down ever since. Might just be a coincidence, but almost 7% drop, did recover some, dropped again. So maybe between the stock market and that announcement, that's had the negative effect on the market today. All right. And then on Ethereum's pretty much following Bitcoin. I've got the 4-hour chart here. Updated my Fibonacci levels. Doesn't really make much of a difference in this case because we keep getting lower lows. We got some higher highs up until the end of November, but ever since then we've had lower highs as well. So Ethereum's trending down pretty hard. I've been shorting this a lot and doing pretty well, sort of unintentionally. I've joked before about my superpower. When I buy Ethereum and Bitcoin shorts, the market goes up, and that's been less and less powerful this month. So anyway, it's just a weird time to trade. Volume's down. That's normal for December around the holidays. So you got to be careful out there. Maybe go in most of your positions with half or a third of your usual amount, so you can be ready to to ladder buy or dollar cost average your way in. We'll talk about that a little bit more with some specific cryptos. So any questions about Bitcoin and Ethereum or the market in general? Okay, Patrick's pointing out that Ethereum is now in a 1-2-3 dip. Let's check it out. We do love our dip trades. All right, so on the 5-minute, I'm not seeing that. We did have it, this afternoon. On the hour, Yeah, it's more prevalent on the hour. So that's probably what Patrick was talking about. We got a one really solid dip here. Second dip. And the third dip hasn't quite punctured through. So, buying Ethereum down here around 3,700 could be a good buy on a third dip on the hour chart. I don't trade off, the dip trading on the hour chart very often. Maybe I should, but as a day trader, I like that 5-minute chart as my entry point. And yeah, on the 5 minutes, just hanging around the SMA line, which is not where I like to get in. But if it drops down around 3,700 to the bottom of the Bollinger Band, where on the 5-minute chart, that might be the something to look into. But to be candid, there's probably other altcoins that will make a similar move that will be more profitable. So we'll look at some of those after we look at Altcoin Alert and iCoinPro.
Yeah, the 15-minute chart was textbook.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, Cheryl pointed something out, and then I clarified my point, and she's okay. But I do want to emphasize that you can trade the 1, 2, 3 dip on other time frames. I personally like to use the 5-minute to make my entry to see what's happening, try to get the best short-term, entry, but you can use 15-minute, like Patrick mentioned, and the hour as well to look at it's really a better for a swing trade, but you can use the strategy in that regard. So we got a one dip here, a second dip here. We don't have a third dip yet. We have a MACD cross though, so we have 2 dips and a MACD cross, but it's trending down. I probably want to see it show me some strength going up beyond 38, like 38.20. It's kind of close to the SMA line, but I don't know. I don't trade like this very often, so I'm probably not going to talk about it much, but you guys can tinker with this, with the strategy on different time frames if you want. So let's go. If there's no other questions on Bitcoin and Ethereum and the overall market, we will go to Altcoin Alert. All right. Altcoin Alert, we will look at the AA scores first. They're not very good. The only one that's very bullish is this DCR. I had not even heard of this, but I looked at it a little while ago. So I've got the chart up. It's on Binance and some other exchanges too. Let's look at the day chart to get the overall picture. And like a lot of coins, it had its big run up in April, lost most of its value, recovered some of it in September, then dropped again. Now it's around $62, where before it was in the 200s. So that's a pretty serious drop, but does have some long-term room for retracement. Go to the hour to get, what's it doing this month? And it's dropped from about $109 down to 62. And it's mostly lower lows and lower highs all the way down. But a lot of coins look like this right now. Even, established projects like DOT and Atom and Algo look like something like this. Okay, go to the 5 minutes, see if we want to find something here. Yeah, looking kind of squeezy. Other than this big bar here, most of these candles are tiny. So it's not that much action going on each candle. So I'm not sure what to do with this. It did a one. Actually, I remember this did look kind of interesting because it goes into a squeeze here and it starts to bubble out, then it bubbles out bigger. So do we count these or not? I'm not even sure. Probably wouldn't count this one. Got a 1, 2, 3, big crashing dip here. Get the green candle. Probably want to get in here. Had I been watching this at the time and look for a return to this area here, about 3.8%, but it has not returned there yet. So you'd still be in that trade had you taken it. That's okay if you're in a trade for a few hours, even on a day trade. You know, in my mind, day trades 24 hours, ideally, but shorter is better. So we don't have that now. It's just going sideways, and meanwhile, the SMA line is creeping up on it. So got 2 green candles. If it punches through here, I don't like this at all. I wouldn't trade this. Who am I kidding? So if you want to trade it because of the AA score, I'd probably want it to get down here, set an alert down here around 59, 60, and then reevaluate, go in small, and be prepared to make multiple buys. But not liking what I see there. All right, any questions on that one? Decred. All right, Altcoin Alert. That's about all we have for very bullish. So I'm not going to look at any more of these. And to be candid, I haven't been trading Altcoin Alert or AA scores lately. I've liked this long-term sentiment much more. And we talked about it last couple of weeks. You know, this is the sort that Josh Frank of the TIE, you know, the data source of AA, recommends. They ran some testing based on UTC entries, UTC midnight entries, and since January, and had over 1,000%. So that was good, persuasive to me to start looking at this at 5 p.m. my time, which is midnight UTC. Josh later corrected this to say, you know, the timing's not that important. Just the idea is you get in on a very bullish indicator and stay in for 24 hours with the goal of around, you know, 3%. So that's what I've been doing. We do have a very bullish on Tomo chain, though Bryce on the Tuesday call made an adjustment to this strategy. You can either incorporate it or not, that he looks for like another couple indicators on these columns to decide if he's going to go ahead and do that trade. Right now, we've got very bullish on Tomo chain. This is a coin I've actually traded before. These other 4 I don't know very well. And we do have a bullish here on the AA score. So I think that's worth a look. It's down 13%. It's got plenty of room to come back. Let's go to Tomo chain. Well, it looks a lot like Decred that we looked at moments ago. Though it has had more recent success. It pumped up big to almost $4 in September. Yeah, so it had a big pump in May, recovered it all in September. Another big drop, recovered again in late November. Now it's dropping again, so this one's crazy volatile. But we know it has room to retrace, and it has a history of retracing, so that's encouraging. On the 1 hour, yeah, retracement potential earlier this month to over $3. To yesterday, it was 213. So it's dropped about 16%, 15%. Okay, on the 5-minute. Okay, since we like this coin, I like this coin's history more than Decred, I'd be more inclined to try to get in on this. There's some short-term support right about here at 180 or 181 now. It's going into a squeeze. Yeah, I kind of like it down here between 175 and 180. Go in small. Again, be prepared if you are going to make this trade to make additional purchases. A lot of traders incorporate stop losses. I rarely do with my spot trades, but you know, if you go in something like this on, say, your regular amount, you might want to set a stop loss at 10 to 20%. But I prefer ladder buying. I'd rather go in small and have enough capital to make additional purchases so that I can average out. And that way, I have a way higher percentage of more effective, more profitable trades. All right. Yeah. So if I did get in, let's say I caught this around 178. You know, the SMA to the current SMA lines, 3%. To this resistance here, it's about 4.5. If I look to, I've got some more resistance here at 6.68. You know, I might I'd consider staying in this as a swing trade, try to get back up here where it was just earlier today at just below $2. I probably go 199, try to get 12%, or 195, 197. You know, you can get double digits on this. It's one nice thing about these days when you have the bigger dips is, you know, they usually recover. So you just have to be patient and sometimes endure the pain of seeing your portfolio in the negative. And we've all been there. So, all right, any questions on Tomo? Alrighty then, let's see what else. Let's look at one of these other ones, this top coin. This is one of those that's like way less than a penny, but they can be the ones that move a lot. Of course, they can be the ones that dump a lot too. I mean, it's not even close to a penny. This is like, you know, what SHIB is right now. We got very bullish on long-term sentiment, bullish on short-term, neutral on the AA scores, and pretty much everything else is negative. But let's check it out. TOPSD. Well, it's only on Huobi. There's a Bitcoin pair. Yeah, it's on Huobi. Well, I've gone this far with it. Let's look at it. Yeah, when you see these horizontal lines here on the 5-minute chart, that means no trades were made. That's a low volume situation. Yeah, we don't want that. But maybe on a swing trade, I wouldn't swing trade this either. But if you caught it down here, wow. On the hour chart, you know, back to the SMA line, it's about 20%. And that's where it was, you know, earlier this morning. The 5-minute. Yeah, 5%. But again, there are just better options than this with more volume, so I wouldn't take this trade. I guess part of this is to show you what I wouldn't do with AA, you know, Altcoin Alert information. And there are some low volume coins on here that I usually ignore. All right, well, that's all I have for the long-term sentiment sort. Let's do the social activity sort. And sometimes we get a bullish on long-term and elder impulse, but we don't have that today. Oh, there's one other thing you can do on long-term sentiment. I did this a lot. Short it. So some of you folks here, I know, do some leverage trading. Look for the very bullish or very bearish and short it. So we've got Axie right now. That's something that you can trade on some of those exchanges. This is advanced though. If you're still spot trading or still learning, you shouldn't be doing leverage. But some of you folks in here have, you know, experience with quite a bit with spot trading, and you're learning or knowledgeable now about leverage. You know, feel free to use your Altcoin Alert to spot trades for that. I know I do. So But I'm not going to go into that in detail now because most of the people here don't trade leverage. So let's go. Let's see. Social activity. Yeah, have any. The best situation is very bullish on long-term sentiment and bullish on the elder impulse, and we don't have that. Yeah. So, wow, this is just a lousy day to have a Zoom on these tools because they're not giving me much right now. All right, well, I think I'm going to bail on Altcoin Alert then, unless you guys have any other questions about, how to do sorts and what to look for and entries and exits and things like that. We'll cover some of that information again on iCoinPro, but I know most of you guys are Altcoin Alert members, so I want to help you out in that regard. Just the market's not really helping us right now. A chat question. Okay. Cheryl saying it's good to see what I wouldn't do, so that's useful. Thank you for that, Cheryl. Sometimes the best thing to do is just to not trade, which as a day trader makes me itchy. Plus, I have to generate income from this stuff. So when I'm not trading, I feel like I'm not working. But then again, day trading can be 24/7. On Sunday, I was with my family and then I came back home. I got home around 6:30. I put my alerts back on, made a few trades that night while I was watching TV. So, we can do that. All right, then I'm going to go over to Altcoin or iCoinPro. And yeah, I do want to show you guys. We do have the fear. Yeah, this is the iCoinPro. This is the RSI SPY, one of the two tools I use the most. And it's also got these other tools up here. I like to check the fear and greed index. This is yesterday's information, but still useful. Right now we're in fear. Now down here is extreme fear, which is the best place to buy. But fear is a pretty good place to buy too. If the other aspects of the market align. We'll talk about that right about now. So, chat question. So Shannon's asking for newbies, what is the best way to learn day trading? Well, attend my Zooms, obviously, but Shannon, I'm going to show you something now that I used to learn my day trading, and just little history lessons. Was September of 19 when I connected with a friend of mine named Jeremy Barnett, who had a similar program to what I'm showing you now, iCoinPro. Jeremy spun off iCoinPro and do his own thing, but I went ahead and bought both of them. Jeremy's Crypto Trade Masters program and the iCoinPro service, to which I still subscribe. And it's a very conservative day trading approach. The idea is to pile up 1% and 2% profitable trades and build your balance slowly and cautiously and conservatively. So I think this is an excellent tool for people who are interested in day trading and want to put in the work to learn how to do it. Which is why, on my Monday Zooms, I talk about this in addition to Altcoin Alert. The guys at Altcoin Alert know I do this, and they're okay with they see iCoinPro as not as a competition, but as something you can use in addition to Altcoin Alert. So I like to use both programs. And iCoinPro teaches strategies in addition to being a tool by which you can find trades. And there's two primary ways that I use it to find trades. One is the RSI SPY. And I'm going to sort it by the 1 hour RSI. And RSI is a relative strength index. It's a commonly used indicator that measures the strength of the market, momentum, price action, that kind of thing. So when the values are 30 and below, that's usually a sign that the coin is oversold and due for a comeback, generally speaking. So everything is oversold right now. So this isn't as useful as it usually is. If I pull this up and there's 5 or 10 of them here, then that's a little bit better. And on the hour, if I see something that's below 30, I want to check it out. If I see it hour and the 4 hour, it's definitely worth checking out. If I see it on the hour, the 4 hour, and the day, then the market's being pummeled down. And we've talked about that enough already. But I want to look at one of the coins it's down in all 3 charts, and that will be this one here, Wink or Win. This is an older project. I can click this drop down menu. It'll take me straight to a trading view chart. And this is another one of those. It's less than a penny. It always has been, I think. Go to the day chart, see if it ever made it up to a penny. Nope, not quite. 0.0029. I think it's the farthest it's gone. I remember this pump back in April, thinking, where'd that come from? It's one of the first coins I traded. Got on the day chart. It's back in November. It's been in the last month or so as high as 1/10 of a cent. Yeah. Right now it's like 0.04 of a cent. On the hour, it's been as high as 6162. It's currently 4665. It's got plenty of room to retrace like the others we've seen today. The 5-minute. Again, everything is just sort of trending down. There's some support here. Sitting right on the SMA line, don't like that. Probably wait for another dip sequence. Try to catch it here about 457. SMA line be 2%. This resistance here puts it at 5%, kind of like that. And then I have more resistance here just earlier today when it was up over 502 at almost 10%. So yeah, I think that's good retrace potential. So this one might be worth checking out, but you could probably look at some other coins and maybe find better values. Some coins that have been pumping more lately. Luna is always interesting. It frequently goes against Bitcoin or ignores Bitcoin, which is rare. But today it's more in lockstep than usual. On the day chart, yeah, we had a big pump over 70. Then it dropped quite a bit down in the 50s where we are now. Lower highs, lower lows on the hour. Okay, we've had multiple dip sequences here. It's going through another one now. Had a pretty good dip right after the squeeze and the bubble opened up and 3 candles. So we want to see a dip sequence. Let's see if we can catch it down here on 51. That's where I'd be looking to get in. SMA lines, be around 5%. That's what I'm more interested in than like the prior one I showed you, where the distance to the SMA line is only 2%. I want to get like 3, 4, 5% to the SMA line if possible. And sometimes I go below that. Maybe take 3 or 4%. Wherever I see the SMA line is a common target for day traders, and then these these clumps of candles here, resistance, are also really good targets for day traders, and I just go a little bit below them usually. So, all right, any questions on Luna?
Which SMA are you using?
I'm on the 5-minute chart. The SMA line is this pink line right here.
Yeah, but how many periods is it?
Oh, it goes in line with the Bollinger Band. I put mine at 50. So if I click on the inputs here, the little gear on the BB,
Yeah.
the the default length is 20. A more conservative approach is 50. This is what iCoinPro teaches. And, you know, my aforementioned Jeremy Barnett, my day trading mentor, did the same. So that's what I usually do. I think, you know, Bryce and CryptNation's more of a swing trader. I don't think he uses Bollinger Bands, but other traders make their settings shorter. So, but I like the 50. It's always served me well.
Can we just see, please, CJ, what the 20 looks like as a comparison?
That is a great idea, Robert.
It'd be tighter, wouldn't it?
Yep. Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, interesting.
Yep.
So it defaults, so most programs you think default to this setting?
Yeah. If you don't proactively change your Bollinger Bands when you add them to TradingView, you'll get 20. So,
Okay,
so I'm going to go back. Don't even like looking at that. So
yeah. What do you think Bybit is set at?
probably the same.
Is that changeable, you think?
Yeah, you can change if you're looking at an exchange and you're looking at the charts on an exchange. You know, you can do the same thing. Look for the gear,
Okay,
and then you make that change.
got it.
Yep.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so that's the RSI SPY. The next tool I like to use is the Buddy Coin Crawler. So the theory with this is you choose your buddy coins every day. 2, 3, 4 coins that you're going to follow. You're going to chart. You're going to do. You maybe do resistance lines like I was doing earlier on Bitcoin and Ethereum, and you know, setting alerts on where you want to make trades. So, and we determine our buddy coins often from this information here. I like to sort from the average low to the SMA line. So I showed you the SMA line on the chart, and the average low, the 24-hour low. So we're looking for 5% or better between the average low and the SMA line. And we got quite a few here that qualify. Coinbase has been adding coins like crazy. Half of these I don't even know what they are. Koval, Moss Carbon Credit. This stuff just sounds made up. You know, Power USDT, you know, Ribbon Finance. And then I'm going to look for usually 10 million or more on the volume too. I'm not going to trade, you know, Moss Carbon Credit with only 32,000 in volume. Yeah, that's on Coinbase, you want the USD pairs. Those tend to have a higher volume than the USDT pairs. On Binance, it's the opposite. The USDT pairs have more volume than the USD. I used to trade on Binance. I don't anymore. I do some spot trading on Coinbase Pro. So
Why is that?
why is what?
That you don't trade on Binance anymore?
They started requiring KYC. So I considered pairing with somebody and you know, sharing an account or something like that. But I mostly trade on leverage anyway. I like Bybit, and they don't require KYC yet. So and it looks a lot and functions a lot like Binance. So that's mostly where my trading is anyway. So with, you know, if I move out of the US, then I'll probably get a Binance account. But until then, you know, I'm not going to use it anymore. And it hasn't changed my trading that much. I thought it would, and it hasn't. I don't have any, you know, anything ill to say about Binance. I enjoyed trading on it when I was using it, but you know, the KYC was a deal breaker for me. That answer your question, Nathan?
Yep. Thank you.
All right. All right.
Well, is that because you're not allowed to trade as a US citizen, that you don't want your KYC done?
Yeah, if you want to do anything interesting in crypto and you live in the US, you have to use a
VPN.
VPN on an exchange that does not require, you know, KYC. So That's I've considered, leaving my beloved country as a result, but I mean, it just boggles my mind. We need to be on the cutting edge and we're way behind, so it's frustrating. But that's a rant for
Nick,
another time.
Can I insert a thought here?
Okay.
I just was looking around the internet today and discovered a website that was talking about an exchange located in Singapore, which is called Bityard. And they do require KYC, but they also allow Americans as customers
Mhm.
because they have the appropriate license, which most exchanges won't yet because it's complicated and expensive and so on.
Oh, okay.
But you are allowed to trade with leverage as a U.S. citizen and with KYC on Bityard.
That is intriguing.
Yeah,
Make a note of that. Bityard exchange. Are you on it yet?
no,
Oh, you just saw it today
I might be
online.
in the future.
How much
Okay.
volume are they doing?
Well, that's the next
I really
question.
didn't get that far.
Okay. Well, Singapore's known for being sound, but
Yeah.
Bityard, Y-A-R-D,
Yes, Bityard. Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, could you throw a note in the chat there, please, George?
Well, yeah,
Or
I'll
I guess I
I'll
could
do
do it. I got
that.
it open.
And oh, you got it open?
I'll do it.
Like,
Yeah, I see the person put a note about FTX US. You can trade with leverage, but the volume, the choice of markets is so small. It's hard to find anything worth trading.
Yeah, I used to trade on FTX a lot. Actually, I'm stuck on
FTX
that.
US.
US. Yeah. All right, cool.
FTX is got a lot of markets, but FTX US is tiny.
Probably like Bitcoin US or no,
Bitcoin US has a
Binance
lot.
US, sorry.
Binance US has a lot of markets compared to FTX US.
Okay. Good to know. Where were we? We're on the Buddy Coin Crawler. Let's look at something. Sushi has an 8.5% distance to the SMA line from the 24-hour low. It's got really good volume on Binance, trades on Coinbase as well. Let's check it out. Good to see this recovering. I currently have a swing trade in here that ain't swinging.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
Yeah, I think we were moping about this a couple of weeks ago. All right, yeah, way up in the 20s in May, big drop. Recovered some of it in September, and another big drop. And yeah, down in the 5s now. This one's a little painful
CJ,
for
just
me.
quickly, how do you define a swing chat trade versus a day trade?
It's not well defined. In my mind, it's several days.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be weeks. If you talk to me, I think of it, like several days, 3, 4, 5 days, maybe a week. Talk to Bryce, it's probably several weeks. But it's not a hodl is the point. So we're looking to make some money and get out. It's just we're in a swing. We're going to do it longer. And I do a little bit of it, but not. I actually joined CryptNation to learn how to do it and to do more swing trading and hodling. But I found I didn't like it that much, so I just rather day trade. All right, Sushi on the hour. It did punch over 6 a couple times in the last few days, so that's encouraging. On the 5-minute, well, we haven't seen a pattern like this. Big dip, big bubble. 1, 2, 3, actually 4 dips, maybe 5. Now, do we count this one? The candles are this small, they're kind of hard to make out. 1, 2, 3. Then you get in here. probably in this green candle. Does dip down some, but then you're up here, 4.6%. That's a really good day trade. So that would have been a good one. We're too late for that one though. So it's pumping now. It's above the Bollinger Band. Let's see what Bitcoin's doing. Yeah, Bitcoin's showing some promise. Punched through 47. Ethereum punched through 3,800. So yeah, we're getting a little upward movement now.
Hey, CJ,
Mhm.
just for the record, in 2020, on December 13th, Bitcoin took off and ran straight up for 17 days. So there's hope.
Yeah. Yeah, we were hoping to get a December move like last year or like 2017, but we haven't seen that yet. So, but from what Laura says, it started about the middle of the month, which is where we are. So, looking for that movement. All right, and is a trend trade. I kind of like this. It's got a couple candles breaking above the top of the Bollinger Band. We've got resistance here. So if this punches up to 5% profit, that would be good. That would be a good day trade. I'm a little concerned. All these candles have wicks that are pointing up. Those are sort of rejections of going really high. So that's something to think about. But the
With
candle action
increasing
is
depths.
good. Pardon?
With increasing depth of rejection.
Yeah. So I have taken the time to learn what candles, about candle action and what the wicks mean and things like that. I don't usually talk about it on the show that much, but when you have 3 of them in a row like this, that usually means it's rejecting to going up much higher. And then we have a red candle forming now. So this might be the extent of the move for a while. It might drop again, maybe down to the SMA line and bounce again. So I'm retracting what I said before about the trend trade. I might want to wait till at least drops and then shows me another move up or even a dip sequence below the bottom of the Bollinger Band.
And you wouldn't consider in this setup even shorting it perhaps, because it looks like, I mean, if it's trading in that range, might be a good short instead.
Probably not. Shorting hasn't usually worked out for me, but that's why I intentionally short to make the market go up on my superstitious, rantings you guys have heard for the last few months. But
Yeah.
So would you consider at this moment that because BTC and ETH seem to be making a bit of a run up, that maybe you kind of don't know what it's going to do?
yeah, because now they're, at least on the 5-minute chart, they're both showing some red. So I'm a little less enthusiastic than I was a couple minutes ago. But this kind of thing can make you nuts if you're sitting here staring at the charts, on the 5-minute chart, and that's why it's better to set alerts and walk away, go do something else, and then come back and reevaluate. So this is now more of a no man's land thing. If we get another couple candles pointing up with smaller, either tiny wicks or none at all, then I'd be more encouraged about that.
So do you consider engulfing candles something that would engulf the wicks as well, or just the body?
The engulfing thing, I know what it is, but I haven't really incorporated that into my trading probably as much as I should. So not really sure about that. Okay, checking the chat real quick. Yeah, Oliver's pointing out that the money flow index is high on this, which is usually a good thing, but just curved down a little bit. It's got potential. Keep an eye on it. All right, guys. Well, we are at about 45 minutes. So that's about all I'm going to show for iCoinPro and Altcoin Alert, unless you have some more questions about those.
Are those the only two you usually use, which is Buddy Crawler and RSI Spy?
No, I have some strategies where, I trade just Ethereum a few times a day on some leverage strategies that don't really rely on those two information sources. And then I don't have them up right now because I restarted my computer, and I've got some various trading view sorts I do, things like that to find coins. But Altcoin Alert and iCoinPro are two of my main sources, and I do look at them daily.
Is
Usually
there
more than once a day.
have you revealed these before?
I don't like to do that until I've tested it and had some success with it, and then I'll usually do a video about it.
Oh, okay.
So, and I've been mostly leverage trading since May and not successfully. So I haven't done many of those short kind of videos. When I did do one a week or so ago about the Altcoin Alert long-term sentiment sort, because I was having some success with that. But regarding strategies that don't involve those two, it's been quite a while since I've done a video about those. But you can go into, if you don't want to subscribe to either of these and you just want to do a list of, like, let me give an example. All right, let's say you make a trading view list. I mean, for me, it's going to be, we'll go to Coinbase Pro. These are, that's not a good example. Or Bybit and Phemex are two leverage platforms that I use. And sometimes I'll just sort by this, the change, the worst performing of these that I have listed is this Woo coin, which I've never traded before. And then you can click it again. The best, SFP, XTZ, you can just do that. So that's another way I sort things to look for coins. So, because I don't always find what I'm looking for in Altcoin Alert or iCoinPro, and so this is usually my third option. And then you can use TradingView. It's been a while since I've done it. Just open a TradingView window, and there are sorts you can do. I think I've done it in how to use TradingView. If you want to see my video about that, I think I did it in June. Or do a sort through YouTube, Crypto CJ TradingView, and that should come up. Or look at Patrick's list that I share with my email list every month. It's listed in there too. So, all right, guys, we are at about 50 minutes. Any other questions?
I have a general, it's a little bit of a historical question from yesterday. If we could possibly pull up the dot chart, because I'm curious how you would have analyzed this.
Not very well. I took a dot long yesterday and it's not doing well. So
It's not, yeah, because I was looking at it at 5. Well, the question is, I was looking at it at 5 p.m. yesterday.
Okay.
And when I looked at it on the 5 and 15-minute chart, it looked like it was kind of in a pretty nice dip sequence. But and at the bottom of the Bollinger Band, but when I switched to the 4-hour chart to look at the big picture, it was actually at the top of the Bollinger Band, which was very interesting. I'm curious what your read on something like that would be. Of course, I happen to be on Bybit, so I would have been on that default setting of 20 on the Bollinger Band also at the time.
Oh, you're looking on the Bybit exchange chart instead of the TradingView chart?
Yes, at the time I was, right.
Okay, that is going to change, Bollinger Band analysis considerably. So on the 4-hour, on the 50 Bollinger Band, it's clearly just trending down. Yeah, I don't usually go this broad. I don't use a 4 hour in my day trading much. Because
Okay,
I do the day like I show you guys on this show, the day, the 1 hour and the 5 minutes, what I usually do. So I might go to the 1 hour. And yeah, I did do one buy, and then I have got a ladder buy here that I'm probably gonna have to do because it looks like it's gonna hit it. So, all right, I'm not sure where you were. Let's see, you're an hour
well,
behind.
it was 5 PM. It was exactly a day ago, basically.
All right. 5 PM for you would be 6 for me. I'm not seeing anything in the hour here. It did drop from the bottom, top of the Bollinger Band. Yeah,
Now, what if you go to the 15
let's
minute?
go to the 15 because I'm not quite seeing what you were seeing. All right, so it's probably around here for your chart.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Um, I'm not seeing a trade here on a long.
Yeah,
on a
when I
15-minute
looked at it, it was
chart.
all the way at the bottom of the Bollinger Band
If it's
and
down
dipping.
here,
Yeah, it was probably like, it looked like something around there.
yeah. And on a 20, I guess I could change it to 20 real quick. All right, 5 o'clock for you, 6 o'clock for me yesterday. Yeah, I see what you're saying now, because it was right in the bottom of the Bollinger Band
Right,
in this time frame here.
and it looked like a nice bubble, and I was starting to think it looked pretty good until, like I said, then I switched to it looked good there, and it looked good in the 5 minute. If you go to the 5 minute, it was looking pretty good.
Well, you did get a nice pump here,
Yeah,
you know.
I never went back to the chart afterwards, so I didn't see so it would have been a good time to get in. I was just trying to see if my analysis was good or not.
Yeah, if you're on Bybit, I assume you're on 10x leverage, and so 2% move is really good because that's 20%
Right,
leverage.
okay.
So
So it would have been a good, yeah, I
would
was
have been
just trying
okay.
to look after the fact to see with 2020 hindsight, if that would have been a good decision, and it looks like it would have been.
Well, if I'm using an exchange's chart, which I don't do very often, but sometimes it's convenient, especially if I'm on my phone, then I'm looking for a trading range. I'm not looking for Bollinger Band action necessarily. I'm not, criticizing you for doing it, but for me, I'm looking for a range. So I'm looking to get in low and for it to retrace, because that's pretty easily seen regardless of what your Bollinger Bands are, or even if you have them on an exchange chart. So I just haven't had that experience necessarily of trying to look at an exchange chart and try to catch a dip sequence. So sorry, I
No,
wasn't
you
more
just
helpful
find
on
it
that.
harder to see on their charts?
Yeah, it's harder to
Okay.
see, and I'm cautious when I trade off my phone. Just I don't have as much information, so it's not that
Gotcha.
comfortable for me. But if I'm gonna go watch football with my dad. If this hits, I've already done the analysis, and I'll just make the trade from my phone from his house. So
Right,
yeah.
thank you.
Speaking of watching football with my dad, I got to get going. I can actually stay for about another 5 or 10 minutes. But I'll stop the recording here. For those of you who've attended live, I really appreciate that. For those of you watching the recording, appreciate you too. And we'll see everybody again on Friday.